During her adventures in the 1980s, She-Ra, Princess of Power, had a vibrant and robust rogues gallery. Catra, the jealous beauty. Entrapta, captivating golden beauty. Scorpia, stinging horde enforcer. Shadow Weaver, evil mistress of dark magic. Grizzlor, hairy henchman of the evil horde. Mantenna, evil spy with the pop-out eyes. Leech, evil master of power's suction. Hordak, ruthless leader of the evil horde. Acrobad, the maniacal jester of fiendish flips.
Who?
Okay, you could be easily forgiven if you don't remember Acrobad. He appeared in a single episode of the Princess of Power cartoon toward the end of Season 1. In episode 52, The Wizard, we're introduced to Acrobad. And the episode starts with Cal and Broom getting their feelings hurt by Bo and Madame Razz, respectively. Cal wishes that there was a way to get courage, and Broom wishes there was a way to get Madame Razz's respect. So they do the only sensible thing. They run away so they can go and see the Wizard of Silverglade, who we actually never meet because Cal and Broom don't actually make it to Silverglade. On their way, they come across Dr. Drome and his sidekick, Acrobad. If you look up Acrobad online, you actually won't find much love for him. He was kind of annoying in the way some Filmation side characters can be, especially the ones that are played for comedic effect. Everything about him screams filler, throwaway villain slotted in to use generic animation Filmation probably already had, and to be one of those episodes used to pad out the episode order of Princess of Power. It's easy enough to dismiss him and consider him unworthy of even making it to an episode of Villain Obscura.
Yes, Risa.
But what if I told you everything you know about Acrobad is wrong? Well, if so, I'd be exaggerating and veering into clickbait territory. But actually, your concept of the why the character exists would probably be wrong, if you prescribe to the theory that he was just Filmation filler.
Yes, Risa.
The character of Acrobad actually has his roots and origins at Mattel. If you watch my tongue lasher video, you probably know where this is going. If you didn't, there's a link on the screen for you to watch it at the end of this video.
Yes, Risa.
In 1984, when development for Princess of Power was underway at both Filmation and Mattel, many characters were designed. Among these were Tongue Lasher. Although, when eventually released in the toy line, Tongue Lasher ended up getting a makeover and coming out looking very frog-like, and being added to the ranks of the newly introduced Snakeman faction. The dates on the original sketches of Tongue Lasher show that he was probably intended to be a member of the evil horde. And his original design is very closely mirrored in his on-screen appearances in the Princess of Power cartoon. At the same time Mattel was developing the concepts that would become Tongue Lasher, it was also producing concept sketches for a gesture-like character that would have a flipping or springing action. Based on the sketch, it's entirely possible he would have shared tooling with Tongue Lasher.
Yes, Risa.
While we have no specific confirmation of this at the time of this video, it's a very reasonable assumption that Acrobad was shown to Filmation along with early versions of Reoblast, who would appear as Colonel Blast in a form much closer to his original concept, as both Acrobad and Reoblast, aka Colonel Blast, appear in episode 52, The Wizard. If you want more about Colonel Blast, there will be a link for the episode of Villain Obscura featuring him at the end of this video. Episode 52, The Wizard, is based on a story by Francis Moss, teleplay by Larry DiTillo, and directed by Lou Casivas. It originally aired in the US on November 18, 1985, and was toward the tail end of the original Season 1 of Princess of Power's 65-episode run. Acrobad is voiced by George DeCenzo, who would also provide the voice in the same episode for Dr. Drome. Born on April 21, 1940, in North Haven, Connecticut, DeCenzo had a long career in Hollywood that started by the way of New York City. He was an associate producer on the New York City-based daytime soap opera Dark Shadows, as well as taking a small role on that soap opera as a deputy. He would later go on to what is probably his most recognizable role, playing Los Angeles District Attorney Vincent Bugliosi in the TV miniseries adaptation of the true crime bestseller Helter Skelter, documenting Bugliosi's prosecution of Charles Manson and his cult, The Family, and the death of actress Sharon Tate and her friends, as well as Leno and Rosemary LaBianca. He would appear in more than 30 feature films and several TV series throughout the course of his career. He did quite a bit of voiceover work in commercials, audiobooks, and cartoons. Notably, he would voice John Blackstar in Filmation's Black Star series, as well as Captain America and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. He also appeared on Broadway with Nathan Lane in the 1990s in a play called On Borrowed Time. He passed away on August 9, 2010, at the age of 70. For She-Ra and He-Man fans, his most famous voice role within the franchise was Hordak, the evil leader of the Horde. Episode 52 opens with Cal and Broom abandoning the rebels due to perceived slights. Both feel unappreciated and like they're more of a burden to their friends than a help. So they strike off on the mission to Silverglade to find the wizard. On their journey, they catch the attention of Acrobad, who uses his leaping ability to bounce back to Dr. Drome to tell him what he saw. Acrobad and Dr. Drome rush off to intercept Cal and Broom. They invite the two to dinner, and while Broom seems reluctant to join them, Cal accepts. As they wrap up dinner, Cal and Broom excuse themselves to resume their journey. But after they reveal they're on their way to Silverglade, Dr. Drome and Acrobad state that's where they're going and offer them a ride. Upon the realization that Dr. Drome plans to stop at a Horde outpost, Cal and Broom flee, but thanks to Acrobad's bouncing abilities, they're captured. Dr. Drome and Acrobad take Cal and Broom to the Horde outpost, hoping to deliver them to Colonel Blast, with the suggestion of putting them into a circus. Colonel Blast and Dr. Drome make arrangements for Drome's finder's fee, but before the deal can be completed and Cal and Broom sent to the Fright Zone, She-Ra and the rebels arrive to save their friends. During this rescue, Acrobad attempts to intervene, as the reward Hordak would offer for She-Ra is considerable. He flips his way onto the back of Swiftwind. However, She-Ra makes short work of him, easily knocking him off and sending him flying into a metal cylinder filled with water. As She-Ra and friends defeat Colonel Blast and the Horde, rescuing Cal and Broom, Acrobad and Dr. Drome make their escape. There's almost a suggestion that Acrobad and Dr. Drome could return at a future time, but neither character appears again in the Princess of Power series. It's likely if the figure had made it further into production and onto store shelves, he probably would have returned in a future episode.
Yes, Reese-a-roo.
As far as Acrobad as a figure, there isn't any evidence that he progressed any further than concept art, as no prototypes or further sketches of him have surfaced over the last few decades. It's also highly likely that he would have had some sort of flipping action feature, as he is heavily shown flipping and bouncing in the episode, which would have been the perfect way to advertise an action feature. It is possible that this action feature, plus not being able to work him into the new faction of the Snake Men, is part of why Acrobad never made it to store shelves. Action features could at times be expensive to produce. However, I can't help but wonder if the character had gotten a better showing on the cartoon and been popular, maybe he would have gone further into production, or if maybe development of the Snake Men had gone slightly different, maybe Acrobad would have been repurposed in the same way Tongue Lasher was, and redeveloped into a character that fit into that faction. What do you think? Would you like to see Acrobad either in Mattel's current cartoon collection for Masters of the Universe, or the recently revealed sketchbook series? Or should he remain a mostly forgotten and completely obscure villain in Princess of Power and Masters of the Universe lore?
Yes, Reese-a-roo.
2025 is the 40th anniversary of She-Ra, Princess of Power, and I have more episodes of Villain Obscura planned to celebrate that. If you have a favorite Obscura Princess of Power villain, let me know in the comments, and maybe they'll appear in a future episode of Villain Obscura.
Yes, Reese-a-roo.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider smacking the like, and if you'd like to see more Villain Obscura or profile videos on 80s toy line characters, you should subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll know when a new video is posted. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next one.
Yes, Reese-a-roo.